I really loved working on this 12 by 12 journal page, and I'm really glad I filmed it for no other reason than to have a reference for future inspiration. I started as I do most pages, with leftover paint from a previous project. Although you won't see most of this by the end, it does serve a purpose in that it usually influences the colours and images that I pick for the page. This teacup image came out of an old magazine and was instantly the focal point. I then go through my scraps and add more papers to add more interest. Everything gets stuck down with matte medium or a glue stick. I mixed yellow, cream and browns and greens to match up the background of the image and painted that along the torn edges to blend it into the background. It's a little of this and a little of that until I match up the hues to blend everything together. Then, as I often do, I add more collage and paint to create depth and interest. Collage on these layers tend to be more transparent, like old napkins or tea bags, to let the earlier layers show through. Using acrylic ink, I darken the edges to create an almost border effect to draw the eye into the image. Next, I reach for my Inktense Pencils and activate it with water to darken some of the edges of the image. Final stage is the mark making, and I'm really loving these Derwent ink pens. They have a fine tip, which is great for making little lines. I love the Holtz Rub-ons. They help to add another layer of interest. More details are added with little bits of ephemera. Last year I bought the mini field notes and they were a lot smaller than I was expecting, but they seem to have worked perfectly for this spread. Lastly, a quote. I've always got to add words somewhere on the page. A few more finishing touches with archival ink to darken the edges further. And some ink diluted with water to accentuate the edges. I like to scribble the ink onto a bit of scrap paper and then pick it up with a water brush to add even more marks. and then with a white Posca pen, more dots and dashes. This scrapbook album was intended for me to make larger pages, and some of the early pages are really primitive. Though recently I finished two that I really love, and I might just carefully remove them so I can frame them.